Hello everyone, and welcome back to Resident Evil Revelations. So we're continuing where we left off in the last video. We just got into the main area of the sunken Veltro ship. And basically, we're at the end. Like, there really isn't much for us to do at this point besides explore the rest of the ship and tie up loose ends. So let's get started.
Armed Forces. The time is 1948. I request that this recorder be handed over to General Lansdale. If found by the next team, everyone on my team is dead. Killed by the devil himself. We were unable to retrieve the video log. Our mission has failed. Veltro, they weren't sitting around waiting for death to come to them. When the FBC arrived, they were waiting for us, even though Terra Grigia was a year ago. Thoughts of revenge kept them alive.
So I know that this is like a fairly insignificant complaint, but I do feel like Chris and Jill should still be wearing their oxygen masks. And the reason being is that this whole area would have been toxic to them because it would have been the lingering scent of decaying bodies, carbon dioxide, methane. Like, it would not have been safe for them to be in this area without an oxygen mask. They would have gotten violently sick. And I know you guys are probably like, yo, what about the fact that these people were still able to survive on a ship that sunk into the bottom of the ocean and there was still a pocket of oxygen? Well, I have an answer for that. In 2013, there was a man by the name of Harrison Okone. He and his crewmates were on the tugboat and they got hit by a very large storm off the coast of Nigeria. The storm capsized their ship and sunk it. And while his crew members died, unfortunately, he was able to survive because he was in the part of the ship that formed an air pocket. And they found him 3 days later, relatively unhurt. Of course, he had some injuries from the storm and the capsizing and things like falling on him, but other than that, he was relatively okay, and they were able to pull him out from the ship with an oxygen mask and everything. The ship had sunk about 30 meters, which is pretty far for a small ship to have gone. And I'm guessing the Veltro ship has also gone about that depth, maybe like 40 meters, given the fact that Chris and Jill could swim up to it without having to be in a submersible.
The Queen Dido is already deep below the sea. There's no escape, no chance of survival. Unless... in honor of thy name, we accept our wrongdoing and transmute our flesh in remembrance of our sins. But for you, Morgan, never shall there be rest. We rise from the dead A spirit callous and immutable force. All of our interactions are right in here. We shall become guardians of the truth. For as many years as it may take.
Jack Norman was the head of Veltro.
And he has the video we can use to nail Lansdale.
I have a little theory. I don't know if it's an actual viable thing, but I feel like it might be. If you have other ideas, you can let us know in the comments. But my theory is that I think the reason why the rest of the ship didn't fill up with water was because of the safety features that we saw previously on the ship that Parker and Jill were on. Because when the water started to fill the hold of the bottom of the ship, it showed that it had basically electronically sealed different areas to form like watertight like compartments so that the water that's in there could not breach and flow into areas that crew members would have been in. So I think that that's what happened. I think what happened is that they started to sink and they sealed as many areas as they could while the ship was going down, which is why there's not as many of crew members, because they were essentially sacrificing themselves to maintain the integrity of the ship so that it didn't fill up with water and kill their leader and whoever was left of their organization. Now, I think they probably thought that at some point they might be able to escape from the ship, either by finding oxygen tanks, scuba gear, something that will allow for them to slowly swim up to the surface. But I guess they didn't factor in the basically blobs of like monster tissue that were infesting the bottom of the ship after they had sunk. And so anybody who probably went down there to get any scuba gear that may have been held down there ended up getting eaten. So there really wasn't any escape. And then the other members probably succumbed to any injuries that they incurred from the sinking of the ship, which just leaves the leader left. And as a result, he's gone crazy and is like, the only way up is to inject myself with the virus that we created and essentially terrorize the coastline, because we were seeing monsters wash up on the coastline and they were coming from the sunken ship.
Morgan, this is what you seek, is it not? Indeed, this little machine contains the truth. Oh, the truth needed to bring down your entire charade.
This is it. We got the evidence.
Stop! Morgan, behold the terror which you have unleashed.
Norman, stop! Morgan isn't here!
It's no use. He's gone over the edge.
I really like Norman's tyrant form because, in keeping with the sea theme for this game, it's a mixture of like coral and a seahorse, it looks like, with the fins on the back, as well as like maybe a starfish of sorts or another sea creature, maybe like a lionfish or something. But I really like the way that it looks because each of the bosses for this game, as I said before, are really unique. And I really like the interpretation of what would it look like if somebody had mutated and turned into a sea monster. I really like also that it feels like this is a callback to earlier tyrant fights that you had in like 0 and 1, Code Veronica, etc. Because pretty much after this point, once we get into 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you're not really like fighting tyrants anymore. So yeah, it kind of feels like the end of an era a little bit.
Revenge is consumed him. Nothing human remains.
Keep your head in the game. There's only one of us.
can die!
This is how Morgan treats his friends.
I hope he finds more comfort in death than he did in life.
The means of dispersion?
The cruise ship is equipped with a UAV. That is your delivery system.
Very well. Now show me the goods.
Bonafide T-Abyss. No vaccine. Not yet.
Yes, of course. A little bit of this could turn a city inside out.
I think we're done. I'll be on my way.
Who would have thought, yes? That the lowly terrorists would receive a helping hand from the venerable commissioner of the FBC.
As you can see, it's not likely you'll be wriggling out of this one.
I seem to have underestimated the BSAA. And perhaps you as well.
We found this in the off-limits area near Terra Grigia. We're done analyzing it, so you can have it back.
Director O'Brien, surely you understand our dilemma. Without the Terra Grigia panic, the ignorant masses would be unaware of the threat that lies before them.
Yes, you may in fact be correct.
No one has the right to detain me. The world required my guidance. It was all for the greater good.
You're only fooling yourself. You said yourself, abandon hope, all ye who enter here. But I'm not Dante, and you're not Virgilius. Morgan Lansdale, you are hereby relieved of your position as FBC Commissioner. And I'm placing you under arrest on suspicion of conspiring with Veltro in the planning and execution of the Terra Grigia panic.
With all due respect, Director O'Brien, the BSAA is making a huge mistake.
Where have I heard that before?
We can finally reveal what happened at Terra Grigia.
Yeah, but the cost was high.
The BSAA will have to be overhauled.
The storm is gone now. But how long will it last?
And with that, we are officially done with Resident Evil Revelations. Now, it did take a little bit longer than I intended to complete this game, and that's my fault because there's a lot of things that was going on. But it's fine. We finished it. We're releasing it before the new year, so that's fine. But like I said, I'm going to take a break for like 2 weeks, which is basically through New Year's and into like the first full week of January. But I will be recording a game over that break. And the game that I'm thinking about recording is Dino Crisis. It's going to be a no commentary run. And another game that I want to play through is Astrobot, because I kind of want to break up the survival horror like streak I've been going through, because I like playing through other games. But right now I've gotten into the groove of just playing survival horrors like Resident Evil and then Dino Crisis. So I said earlier in the year I wanted to try to take a break from that for a little bit and play something else and then come back to finish out the rest of the Resident Evil series. So I'm going to finish Dino Crisis, play Astrobot, and then we're going to get started on Resident Evil 5 and basically finish out the rest of the series. And just, play through the rest of the series. So I did get a comment that asked if I was going to play through the other Resident Evil games like Outbreak and Umbrella Chronicles, etc. And I'm probably going to have to emulate them because I missed my chance to buy them when they were available either for console or through the PlayStation Shop. I can't find them on the PlayStation Shop. So I'm probably going to have to emulate them on my laptop and then just record my gameplay through there. But I would like to play those, but not right now because I'm already like, you saw how long it took for me to play through these games. It's gonna be a little bit longer before I can get to those. But I would like to get to them probably in the future, maybe 2026 goal. Fingers crossed. But again, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate all of you guys this year. Like, the growth that our channel has gone from last year to this year is amazing. And I appreciate all of you just stopping by, either to like, to watch for a little bit, subscribe, comment, whatever you decide to do. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys are having a good holiday. And I will see you in the next one. You guys have a good rest of your day. Bye.
Almost too easy, wasn't it? The company let them take Morgan out with the trash.
Tough world.
You filed a report on this. By the way, why save Parker?
I have my reasons.
The BSAA isn't as useless as I thought. Things could really heat up.
Indeed. The fun's just getting started.